Hello and welcome to the Deadly Pit, my friends. Hey, this is a watch me video, so all you have to do is sit back, relax, and watch to see how this problem is solved. And then you're going to want to copy all the notes that I give you here into your notebook or onto a piece of paper that you put into your portfolio. Without further ado, let's move on to our scenario. You have fallen into a deadly pit, my friend. Too bad for you. Your only hope of escape is to solve this problem. That is correct. Your deadly pit contains grizzly bears right there and poisonous frogs. Do not touch that frog, my friend. It is deadly poisonous. The pit contains 9 times as many frogs as bears. And the first thing we want to do is write an equation that represents the total number of frogs in your pit. And you're going to let B represent the number of bears, and F represent the number of frogs right there. So here we go. I'm going to put a B right above the bear, and then I'm going to make an equal sign right here and put an F right here, right above the frog. So the bear is represented by B, the frog represented by F. And now I'm told that there are 9 times as many frogs as bears. So there's more frogs than bears, right? And how many more? Well, 9 times more. So I can simply write a 9 in front of that B, and that means 9 times bears equal frogs. Now, here's an important thing to know. Anytime you have a number right next to a variable, a letter, right, that means multiply. So I'm going to multiply 9 times bears, and that will tell me how many frogs there are. So if there's 1 bear, then I'm going to multiply 9 times 1 and get 9 frogs, right? So for 1 bear, 9 frogs. Bam! There you have it, my friends. Hey, this is all you had to write for the equation for number 1. Now, let's move on to number 2. If there are 54 frogs, how many bears are in your pit? Well, this is actually very cool as well. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to start off by writing the formula. So I'm going to write 9B equals F, right? And then I'm going to plug in the 54 for the F, right? Because there's 54 of these poisonous frogs. So I'll write 54 here. And then drop the equal sign, the B right there, and the 9 right there. And then I must tell you, I like to use something I call the box method, right? So when solving for algebraic problems like this, I want to get the B all alone, right? So the representing of the bears, right? That means I got to get rid of this 9. And the way I like to do it is to box it. So what I do is I box the 9, right? Because that's what I want to get rid of. And then I know that since I'm multiplying this 9, if I divide by 9, I will get rid of it, right? Now think about this with me for a moment. 9 divided by 9, and I can use fractions because fractions can be thought of in 3 ways. 9 ninths, 9 out of 9, and in this case, 9 divided by 9, and that's kind of cool. So anyway, if I have 9 divided by 9, I get 1. The other way to think of this is 9 ninths is like the giant 1, right? Which means anything I multiply by 1, I get that same number. So I have effectively just canceled this 9 out on that side of the equal sign. And then with the box method, whatever I do to one side of the equal sign, over here, I must do to the other side. So I'm going to box this 54, and then I'm going to divide by 9 yet again, my friends. So now I have 54 divided by 9, right? And lo and behold, my friends, that is going to, let me draw a line there. 54 divided by 9 is going to give me 6, and then I'm going to drop the equal sign and the B. And now look, lo and behold, I've got the bears all alone, or the B all alone, right, which was representing the bears, and that means that there are 6 bears. So if there are 54 frogs, you're going to have 6 bears. Da-da-da-da. That is it, my friends. I love this box method. And I just want to say that this box method gets a lot more complicated as these problems get harder. And if you keep using the box method and do one step at a time, it makes it really super simple, my friend. Okay, let's move on to our third question here. And the third question says, hey, if there are 70 creatures in all, how many frogs and bears are in your deadly pit? All right, so this is really cool. Now what I use for this is a T-chart, but it's a triple-decker T-chart, right? I can't even say it, it's so cool. So I'm going to put B here for bear and make a line, and then I'm going to make a F here for frogs and make a line, and then I'm going to put total over here, okay? And that is really, really cool. So now, if I have one bear, right, so I'm going to plug in one bear, and then that means if I have one bear, right, up here we learned that one bear means 1 times 9 will give me the number of frogs, right? So if I have one bear, I'm going to have 9 frogs. So I'm going to just put a 9 in there. And then if I add these two together, 1 plus 9, tricky my friends, right? That is 10. Super. Now watch what I can do. I'm looking for 70 creatures, right? So I can look here and go, okay, what times 10 is going to give me 70? And if I take 10 and multiply it by 70, by 7, it will give me 70, right? That's different than multiplying by 70, right? Of course it is, my friends. All right, so then, look at that. That means I've gotten to the 70 here. So now I'm going to take this 7 and multiply it by 9. 7 times 9 is going to give me 63. So there are 63 of these poisonous frogs here, right? You can't really quite see them, but there they are. Okay, so 63 of the poisonous frogs, and then 7 times 1 will give me 7 bears, right? So there are 7 bears and 63 poisonous frogs, and that, my friends, is all there is to solving this problem. I love it. It's fun. All right, so now here's all I got to say. You can now pause the video, or it should kind of stop on its own, right? And then, whoa, it's running away from me. Did you see that? Okay, so pause the video and copy all this information into your notebook, right? Or onto the paper that your teacher wants in your portfolio. And then guess what? You're good to go, my friend. My next one, we will work through together. So I'll have you do a little bit, pause the video, do a little bit, and we'll work through the problem together. Until next time, I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll see you soon.